Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Zoom meeting given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on July 5th, 2020 in Sri Mayapur, India. The Zoom meeting was with the disciples of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj.
Makakarodivachalam Sangalangayategarim Yatithātamahan Vande Sri Guru Nitasarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishram Hare Om Tatsat Vanchakalpataro Vyashtar Kita Sindhudevacha Patitaram Prabhadevyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I've had the good fortune about 45 years of the association of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami.
I had the good fortune of 45 years of the association of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami.
And through these years, he's always been a very kind friend.
Through these years, he was always been a very kind friend
And God brother,
and God brother.
when he came as a bhakta, I could see that he had very great potential.
When he came as a bhakta, I could see that he had a very great potential.
And sometimes he went out with me on Sankirtan.
Sometimes he went on with me on Sankirtan.
Sometimes he stayed in the temple.
Sometimes he stayed in the temple.
So then one time I went out and he was at the temple.
One time I went out and he was at the temple.
I came back, he was gone.
When I came back, he was gone.
And I didn't know why he left.
I didn't know why he left,
But I was very worried
but I was very worried
that he was a very rare devotee.
that he was a very rare devotee
Prabhupada would be very angry
and Prabhupada will be very angry
if he was to leave.
if he wants to leave.
I went to Calcutta and went to his house,
And I went to Calcutta and went to his house,
but they said he was not there with his friends.
but he said he was not there, he was with his friends.
I came back after a couple of hours.
I came back after a couple of hours,
It was still gone.
he was still gone.
I came back again third time.
I came back again for the third time,
It was still gone.
he was still gone.
I went back to the Calcutta Mandir
I went back to the Calcutta Mandir
on 3 Albert Road,
on the 3C Albert Road.
and then he came to see me.
Then he came to see me.
So then I talked to him, and he agreed to go back to Mayapur.
Then I talked to him and he agreed to go back to Mayapur.
Later on,
Later on,
he was given a instruction by Srila Prabhupada
later on he was given instruction by Srila Prabhupada
to translate his books
to translate his books
into Bengali.
into Bengali.
I did the Bhagavad Gita,
So he did Bhagavad Gita,
Srimad Bhagavatam,
Srimad Bhagavatam,
Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Chaitanya Charitamrita.
A few books were done by Subhag Swami, but most were done by Bhakti Charu Swami.
A few books done by His Holiness Subhag Swami, but most of the books were done by His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami.
Like that, I did many wonderful services.
Like that, he did many wonderful services.
but he was personally serving Srila Prabhupada.
But he was personally serving Srila Prabhupada.
He was cooking for Srila Prabhupada.
He was cooking for Srila Prabhupada.
He was very dear to Srila Prabhupada.
He was very dear to Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhupada gave them first, second initiation
Prabhupada gave him first and second initiation
at once.
at once.
And then in 1977, before he left,
And in 1977, before he left,
he gave Bhakti to Swami sannyas.
he gave Bhakti Charu Swami the sannyas.
Then he was known as Bhakti to Swami.
Then he was known as Bhakti Charu Swami.
So, over the years, he'd been saving Islam
Over the years, he was serving ISKCON
and saving different projects.
and serving different projects.
And he was chairman of the GDC
He was the chairman of the GBC
one year, and
for
he established the Ujjain Mandir.
he established the Ujjain Mandir.
Many incredible services.
He did many incredible services.
When I saw the video of him
When I saw the video of him
speaking into Ujjain
speaking in Ujjain
before he went on the Western journey,
before he went on the western journey,
he was saying how Prabhupada had left Vrindavan
he was saying how Srila Prabhupada left Vrindavan
and that he spread Krishna consciousness all over the world.
to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world.
So he wanted to go to the West
So he wanted to go to the west
and preach
and preach
and help those devotees who are preaching in the West.
and help those devotees who are preaching in the west.
Everybody told him, don't go.
Everybody told him, don't go.
They didn't tell me.
They didn't tell me.
When I saw the video,
When I saw the video,
I saw he was under some kind of ecstatic love, some yoga maya or something.
when I saw the video, I thought he must be under some ecstatic love, some sort of like yoga maya or something.
And maybe I was afraid that Prabhupada is calling him
I was afraid that Prabhupada was calling him
because he was saying things which were completely
because he was
transcendental.
saying things which were completely transcendental,
But we're not appropriate.
whi-
Not appropriate for the time.
which are not appropriate for the time being.
So I couldn't sleep that night,
I couldn't sleep that night,
and I tried everything I could
and I tried everything I could
to please influence Krishna.
to please influence Krishna.
I mean, if he allows
If he allows
Bhakti Chur Swami to stay,
Bhakti Charu Swami to stay,
we need his association
we need his
and
association,
purity.
purity.
So we had my health team
So we had my health team
with some of the doctors, his disciples,
with also some of his some doctors who are his disciples.
and one of the doctors was based in that hospital in Orlando.
With one of the doctor who is based in Orlando.
So he had some influence there.
So we had some influence there.
So we were trying our best. You were all praying.
We tried our best and you all were praying,
It seemed that Krishna has some other plan.
but seemed like Krishna had another plan.
No. He came and he served Srila Prabhupada.
He came and he served Srila Prabhupada.
And Prabhupada had said that different devotees had come to assist him.
Srila Prabhupada had said that different devotees had come to assist him.
I was feeling that
So I was feeling that
His Holiness Bhakti Chur Swami,
His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami,
one of those rare devotees that
one of
came
the
to assist Prabhupada.
one of those rare devotee who came to assist Srila Prabhupada.
Now we're in separation of his association,
Now we are in the separation of his association.
but he had to. He was, Krishna and Prabhupada have some other plan,
But Krishna and Srila Prabhupada have some other plan.
and Prabhupada has said that
Prabhupada had said that
I have my plan,
I have my plan,
you have your plan,
you have your plan,
and Krishna has his plan.
Krishna has his plan.
So whose plan will take priority?
So whose plan will take priority?
Krishna's plan.
Krishna's plan.
So Krishna heard all your prayers.
Krishna heard all your prayers.
Certainly nothing goes in vain.
Certainly nothing goes in vain.
But if he has another plan,
But if he has another plan,
then we should cooperate with that.
we should cooperate with that.
Even though it's a very bitter pill to swallow.
As you all know that it is a very bitter pill to swallow.
But Bhakti Achur Swami, he has always been a very loyal member of ISKCON.
Bhakti Charu Swami, he has been always a loyal member of ISKCON.
And he always tried to serve Srila Prabhupada.
He always tried to serve Srila Prabhupada.
He instructed his followers
He instructed his followers
to be part of ISKCON.
be part of ISKCON.
He saw ISKCON as one family.
He saw ISKCON as one family.
Even though the doctor said
Even when the doctor said
he should go on a ventilator,
that he should go on ventilator,
he didn't want to.
he didn't want to.
But if he said, if the GDC tells me, I'll do it.
But he said that if the GBC tells me, I will do it.
How much faith he had in the GDC.
So how much faith he had on GBCs.
So we can, we're very fortunate to have had this great devotees association.
We are very fortunate to have the association of this great devotee.
And by Krishna's mercy,
By Krishna's mercy,
we can be always united with him.
we can be always united with him
By serving Srila Prabhupada, serving him,
by serving Srila Prabhupada and serving him,
serving his instructions.
serving his instructions.
Sometimes I can hardly speak.
I can hardly speak.
It's so difficult.
It is so difficult.
When I was in Bombay with a stroke,
When I was in Bombay with stroke,
he came to see me.
he came to see me.
Told me,
He told me,
you're my big brother.
you are my big
You
brother.
have to stay.
You have to stay.
You can't leave.
You can't leave.
So after that, the doctors had said I had zero chance.
The doctor said that I had zero chance.
But somehow by his mercy and the prayers of the devotees,
But somehow by his mercy and the prayers of the devotees,
Krishna allowed me to stay.
Krishna allowed me to stay.
I sent him an audio message
So I sent him an audio message
which they put in his Prabhupada player.
which they said they put in Prabhupada's player box.
I said that, well, you ordered me to stay,
I said that, well, you ordered me to stay,
and I request you if you have
that now I request you that if you have
any choice in this matter,
any
choice in this,
any choice in this matter,
please stay,
please stay,
because we need your association.
because we need your association.
I think Narottam Das Thakur,
Actually, Narottam Das Thakur,
in one of his bhajans,
in one of his bhajans,
he was singing
he was singing
Ramachandra Sangamangi.
Ramachandra Sangha Mage.
We need also good association.
So we need also the good association.
He was my good association.
So he was my good associate and association.
So he's very dear to all the devotees.
So he is very dear to all the devotees.
And so his disciples are naturally also very dear.
So his disciples are also naturally very dear.
And that's why we want to see that all you devotees
That's why we wanted to see all you devotees
can be also protected by the ISKCON family.
can be also protected by the ISKCON family.
Someone asked me this morning,
Someone asked me this morning,
what should one do if they lose his father?
what should one do if he loses his father?
Well, when you're in a joint family,
Well, when you are in joint family,
you have uncles,
you have uncles,
aunts, so we also are there to take care
and we are also ready to take care
of elder brothers,
as elder brothers,
elder sisters.
elder sisters.
So naturally,
So naturally,
in a family, you'll be taken care of.
we are in the family and you'll be taken care of.
So I'm very happy to be having this opportunity to speak to all of you.
I'm very happy to have this opportunity to be speaking with all of you
On the 7th of July,
on the 7th of July.
we'll be having a Smriti Sabha.
We'll be having the Smriti Sabha.
We are going to hear from different disciples and different God brothers.
Where we'll be listening from different disciples and God brothers of Maharaj.
And hear about his glories.
To hear about his glories.
I thought that this time I should also give you a chance if you have any questions.
that I should also give you a chance if you have any questions to ask.
If there's any way that I can help, or any of the leaders in ISKCON,
If there is any way I can help or any of the leaders can help,
certainly I want to help you.
and certainly we wanted to help you.
You're all very blessed to have had His Holiness Bhakti Swami's association.
You all are very blessed to have the association of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami.
And I've also been blessed by that association.
I'm also blessed by that association.
And I know there's nothing that can make up for his loss.
I know that nothing can make up his loss.
But by carrying out his instructions,
But by carrying out his instruction,
you can be connected with him all the time.
we will be connected to him all the time.
Like Prabhupada was telling us,
Like Prabhupada was telling us,
how his spiritual master
how his spiritual master
was by his side at all times.
was by his side all the time.
So similarly, Bhakti Swami definitely had Prabhupada by his side.
Similarly, Bhakti Charu Swami had Srila Prabhupada all the time by his side.
And you could have Bhakti Swami's Swami by your side
And you can have Bhakti Charu Swami by your side
if you are following his instructions.
if you are following his instructions.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Are there any questions you want on the chat?
Yes, there are some questions. So far we have 2 questions there. This is from Sachindra Krishna Das. Will Maharaj come to us in our dreams? Will Maharaj come to us in our dreams?
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's a special mercy.
That's a special mercy.
He may come in your dream.
He may come in your dream. Next question. Guru Maharaj coming to India or not for Samadhi? From Yamuna Shaki. Guru Maharaj coming to India or not for Samadhi?
We heard that
We heard that
his body would come to India,
his body would come to India,
but the latest thing we heard is that
but the latest thing we heard that
Air India is our last date of taking a repatriation jet
Air India, the last date of taking the repatriation jet
was the 10th of July.
was the 10th of July.
So whether all the paperwork, etc., can be finished real quick.
So whether the paperwork can be finished quick,
And then otherwise, we would have to have a special jet.
otherwise we have to have a special jet.
So these are, they're working to fulfill all these things.
So the work is going on to fulfill all these things. Also in Mayapur, just to add to that question, also in Mayapur, the Mayapur management is also working to identify the location of the Samadhi and various other things. Next question. Why Krishna didn't allow His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami to stay just as he did for you? It is so painful.
How we can say what is Krishna's plan?
How we can say what is Krishna's plan?
He was a very dear devotee to Srila Prabhupada,
He was a very dear devotee to Srila Prabhupada,
and he did a personal service,
and he did personal service,
which I didn't do so much.
which I didn't do so much.
But he was serving Prabhupada very personally.
But he was serving Prabhupada very personally.
So I felt fearful that gleam in his eye.
I felt fearful when I saw the glittering in his eyes.
He was saying he was going to the west.
When he said he was going to the west,
It seemed like Prabhupada was calling him.
Prabhupada was calling him. Next question. Where is that? Yeah. Since Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Name Bhaktya Pranashyati, how it happened that the words of a pure devotee were not true? When His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami said, if we have faith in Krishna, Corona cannot do anything. It's not an injustice to the words of pure devotee?
We don't know the actual cause
I don't know the actual cause
of his departure.
of his departure.
And they said that
Says that
because of the different organ failure.
they said that because of different organ failure,
So, not directly because of the virus,
not directly because of the virus.
and that if Krishna wants him to leave,
But if Krishna wants him to leave,
if he has another plan,
if he has other plan,
then what can we say?
then what can we say?
Definitely, he's under the protection of Krishna,
Definitely he is under the protection of Krishna,
and he'll be there to help you
and he will be there to help you
with Srila Prabhupada.
with Srila Prabhupada. Next question. Can all of us go to where Srila Prabhupada... Don't move. Where is the question? Missed it. Where Srila Prabhupada... Who's moving the question? Where Srila Prabhupada is, if we just simply desire it.
That's a very special blessing.
That's a very special blessing.
And one needs a certain adhikar
Once it said, it's adhikar
to achieve that.
to achieve that.
If you, since His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami is with Srila Prabhupada,
Since His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami is with Srila Prabhupada,
if you serve Him faithfully,
if you serve him faithfully,
and you'll go where He is,
then you will go where he is.
and therefore you'll be with Prabhupada.
Therefore, you will be with Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. One dear friend of mine saw a dream of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami, and few months ago she thought maybe she will be initiated by Bhakti Charu Swami, but now she is totally heartbroken. She lost her Guru Maharaj. What should she do now? Can you please explain?
This happened to disciples aspiring disciples of Srila Prabhupada.
This happened to many aspiring disciples of Srila Prabhupada,
Also aspiring disciples of Tamal Krishna Goswami.
also aspiring disciple of Tamal Krishna Goswami.
That's why one should try to be qualified and take initiation while you have a chance.
That's why one should qualify and try to take initiation when you have the chance.
Certainly by aspiring for Bhakti Charu Swami,
Certainly by aspiring for Bhakti Charu Swami,
a person got blessings,
a person got blessings.
and Krishna will help one to continue on the path of devotional service.
And Krishna will help one to continue on the path of devotional service.
According to our philosophy,
According to our philosophy,
we take initiation in the presence of a guru.
we take initiation in the presence of our Guru.
But Srinivasacharya,
But Srinivasacharya,
he wanted to take initiation from Lord Chaitanya.
he wants to take initiation from Lord
He
Chaitanya.
wanted to study the Srimad Bhagavatam under him.
He wants to study Srimad Bhagavatam under him.
But then he went to Jagannath Puri,
Then he went to Jagannath Puri,
and Lord Chaitanya left.
and Lord Chaitanya left.
And then he fainted, he was so frustrated.
He then fainted and he became so frustrated.
And Lord Chaitanya came there and said, speak to Gadadhar Prabhu.
Lord Chaitanya came and
And
he came in his dream and told him that you speak to Gadadhar Prabhu.
then he talked to Gadadhar Prabhu,
Then he talked to Gadadhar Prabhu,
who was not seeing anyone because he was in separation of Lord Chaitanya.
who was not seeing anyone because he was in separation of Lord Chaitanya.
But when he heard Srinivas came,
But when he heard Srinivas came,
he saw him.
he saw him.
Then Srinivas said, I want to learn the Srimad Bhagavatam from you.
Then Srinivas said, I want to learn Srimad Bhagavatam from you.
He said, my Srimad Bhagavatam is all wiped out by the tears.
He said, my Srimad Bhagavatam is all wiped out by the tears.
How can I teach you?
How can I teach you?
He showed the Bhagavatam.
And he showed him the Bhagavatam.
All wiped out.
It's
tears.
all wiped out by tears.
So Srinivas had to go back to Bengal to Navadip and have a Srimad Bhagavatam copy.
Then Srinivas had to go to Navadip in West Bengal to have copies of Srimad Bhagavatam.
And then he came back to Jagannath Puri.
Then he came back to Jagannath Puri.
By the time he reached,
By the time he reached,
day before,
Gadadhar
left.
Prabhu left.
Like this, he went Navadip, Vrindavan.
So like this, he went Navadip, Vrindavan.
He was going to study Bhagavatam under Rupa Sanatan.
Then he went to study Srimad Bhagavatam under Rupa and Sanatan.
Then he went, Rupa Sanatan had left.
Then he went, Rupa and Sanatan also left.
And then he went to the Govindaji temple.
Then he went to Govindaji temple.
He fainted, he was overwhelmed with separation, desperation.
He fainted due to overwhelming of separation and desperation.
So then Jiva Swami saw him and
Then Jiva Goswami saw him.
said that he been ordered to take initiation from Gopal Bhatta Goswami,
He said, "You've been ordered to take initiation from Gopal Bhatta Goswami,
and I'll teach you.
and I will teach you.
I'll be your Shiksha Guru.
I will be your Shiksha Guru."
So like this,
So like this,
the thing happens.
these things happens. Next question. In the next 10 to 15 years, most of Srila Prabhupada's disciples will leave us. How shall we take this movement ahead? Most of the devotees are attached to Srila Prabhupada's disciples, and movement is united because of Srila Prabhupada's disciples and devotees like yourself.
So that's, we're very concerned that
We are very concerned that
our next generation will take the movement forward,
our next generation will take the movement forward,
keep it united.
keeping it united.
So Prabhupada had said that to have a GDC,
Srila Prabhupada said to have a GBC,
and so that we're trying to
so that we are trying to
discuss succession, how we'll have
discuss succession, how we will have
our younger members to also participate in the GDC.
our younger member also to participate in the GBC.
And already a few second generation are there,
Already a few second generations are there,
several.
several.
And so this is part of, that's why we need you to be very loyal to the instructions of Bhakti Church Swami.
That's why we need you to be very loyal to the instruction of Bhakti Charu Swami.
How is one kind Bhakti mind, body, and words,
How he dedicated his mind, words and
body,
body
in the service of Srila Prabhupada.
in the service of Srila Prabhupada.
So like that, you should carry on the movement
So like that, we should carry on the movement
and keep it united generation after generation.
and keep it united generation after generation. Next question. How can a disciple with little association of spiritual master go lifelong serving him? It seems difficult.
Because there are some disciples
Of course, there are some disciples
of Srila Prabhupada
of Srila Prabhupada
who receive initiation of the male.
who received initiation over the male.
They never saw Prabhupada,
They never saw Prabhupada,
but they've been serving him their whole life.
but they've been serving him their whole life.
I've been very fortunate
I'm very fortunate
that I had a lot of association with Prabhupada.
that I had a lot of association with Srila
He
Prabhupada.
told me to take care of my younger brothers and sisters.
He told me to take care of my younger brothers and younger sisters.
And so, what to speak of their children.
So what to speak of their children?
So, we have Prabhupada's teachings.
We have Prabhupada's teachings.
We have Bhagavad Gita,
We have Bhagavad Gita,
Srimad Bhagavatam,
Srimad Bhagavatam,
and we have also now we have Bhakti Maharaj's lectures,
And now we have Bhakti Charu Maharaj's lectures,
and he translated different books.
and he had translated different books.
I think that much more opportunity to associate now than before.
I think that there are much more opportunity to associate now than before.
Now there's tape recording and email, and
Now we have recording, email.
so you can see the videotapes of Bhakti Swami,
You can see the videotapes or recordings of Bhakti Charu Swami.
and in this way, also you can have your teacher. You have different Shiksha gurus,
You can also have different Shiksha Gurus.
and this way, continue on with your devotional service.
In this way, continue on with your devotional service. Next question. Many devotees who got first initiation, what about their second initiation? Whom should they look for that?
Your first initiation guru
Your first initiation guru
is considered as your guru,
is considered as your guru.
but you take second initiation,
But you take second initiation,
that guru also accepts
that guru also accepts
responsibility for your activities.
accepts responsibilities for your activities.
So you have to offer pranam mantra to both.
So you have to offer pranam mantra to both.
And someone who is dear to your spiritual master who will accept you,
So someone who is very dear to your spiritual master, who would accept you,
accept your relationship with Sri Bhakti's True Swami.
accepts your relationship with His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami.
That's important.
That's important.
Like there are some disciples of Tamal Krishna Maharaj who were first initiated by him,
There was some disciple of Tamal Krishna Maharaj who were first initiated by him,
and then they took second from someone else.
and then they took second from someone else.
But they continued in the service at Tamal Krishna Maharaj's Samadhi.
They continued on in the service of Tamal Krishna Maharaj
Samadhi.
and his Samadhi. Next question. Why did Guru Maharaj have to leave his body in America? Devotees would love to live either in Vrindavan or sacred holy place.
If he wouldn't have left, maybe he wouldn't leave his body.
If he wouldn't have left.
Huh?
If he wouldn't have left. If he wouldn't have left, maybe he wouldn't have left his body.
At least, it's difficult to say what the plan of Krishna
It's difficult to say what's the plan of Krishna
is.
is.
But somehow he was distributing prasadam to the doctors and nurses of that hospital.
Somehow he was distributing prasadam to the doctors and nurses of the hospital
Before he was sick.
before he was sick.
And they had great respect for him.
They have great respect for him.
They let him wear his tulsi beads
They let him have his tulasi beads
and Brahmin thread,
and Brahmin thread,
which normally hospitals don't do in America.
which normally the hospital wouldn't do in America.
And allowed him to keep Srimad Bhagavatam by his head
They allowed him to keep Srimad Bhagavatam over his head
and various other things like
and various other things
dust from Vrindavan.
like dust from Vrindavan.
So He was in one of the best places, I would say, in America.
He was in one of the best place, I would say, in America.
At least they respected him as a spiritual leader.
Because at least there they respected him as a spiritual leader.
He's a great general.
You know, he's a great general.
And he went with the idea of preaching.
He went with the idea of preaching.
Although I would have protested.
Although I would have protested.
But he was in that ecstatic mood of preaching.
But he was in that ecstatic mood of preaching.
He felt that preaching was going on in the West.
So he felt that preaching is going on in the West.
He wanted to be there.
He wanted to be there.
Why?
Why?
We know that's very dangerous.
We know that it is very dangerous.
At this time, there's no cure and no vaccine for the virus.
At this time, there is no cure, no vaccine for the virus.
And elderly people are in high risk.
Elderly people are in higher risk.
So, I can ask the question, why did he have to go?
We have to ask a question, why did he have to go?
But he was in some ecstatic mood.
But he was in some ecstatic mood.
That he thought, I should go preaching.
That he thought I should go for preaching.
So the only thing I could understand was
The only thing I can understand is
that maybe Krishna was calling him.
maybe Krishna was calling him.
Because otherwise,
I
don't see any reason why someone would take that risk.
I don't see any reason why someone had to take that risk. Next question. Which one? Someone is asking why Prabhupada called him in America. I think we answered that question. Almost same. Will Prabhupada be happy to put his dearest devotee in such a situation when small virus defeated all the devotees' prayers?
Huh?
Will Prabhupada be happy to put his dearest devotee in such a situation when a small virus defeated all the devotees' prayers?
It's not like that.
It is not like that.
Although Prabhupada wants him,
It's Prabhupada who wants him.
What if Krishna has a different plan?
If Krishna has a different plan,
Definitely he can defeat any virus or anything.
definitely he can defeat any virus or anything.
But if he has a different plan,
If he has a different plan,
then that plan will take effect.
then that plan will take effect.
So now most of the GBCs are discussing while we're alive.
Now, most of the GBCs are discussing that while we are alive,
I should take this as a wake-up call from the departure of Bhakti Swami,
we should take this as a wake-up call from the departure of Bhakti Swami
and try to answer all the essential issues
and try to answer all the essential issues
so that the next generation will have the guidance from Prabhupada's disciples.
then so that the next generation will have the guidance from Srila Prabhupada disciple.
So it's very hard to understand what the desire of Krishna is.
It's very hard to understand what is the desire of Krishna is.
And by one action, he may achieve many things.
By one's action, he may achieve many things.
So I don't think we should think that
I don't think we should think that
he was defeated or anything.
he was defeated or anything.
He's Achita.
He is Achyuta,
And Ajita,
Ajita,
undefeatable.
undefeatable.
We have to just consider that
We have to just consider that
he has a different plan.
he had a different plan.
And many things which can be achieved
There is many things which can be achieved
by this departure
by his departure
of his dear devotee.
of his dear devotee. Questions?
7 minutes.
We have 7 more minutes.
Then at 9 o'clock we'll stop. You can see the final.
Because at 9 o'clock we'll stop this, and because we heard at 9:15 of India time, they're going to live stream the final rites of His Holiness Bhakticharu Swami Maharaj. So can we have another questions, please? Can you all put it on the? I don't see the screen. Okay, if we take second initiation from another guru, who is actual guru, whom do we worship on the altar? If we take second initiation from another guru, who is the actual guru? Whom do we worship on altar?
Both.
Both.
But your first guru is considered the main.
But your first guru is considered the main.
And the second guru is assisting him.
And the second guru is assisting him.
But you have the picture of both and chant the mantra of both.
But you can have the picture of both and chant the pranam mantra of both. Next question. This is just a comment. Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for taking so much of your time to speak to us and comfort and guide us. Next, another person has said, please do continue to instruct us with your wonderful kindness. Is there any possibility? Nice question. Is there any possibility that all those acharyas who leave this material world will again come back to this material world to preach?
I asked Prabhupada once.
I asked Prabhupada once.
I want to serve you life after life.
That I wanted to serve you life after life.
And then he said, why do you want to make me come back?
Then he said, why do you want to make me to come back?
And then I said,
Then I said,
I thought what I said was correct.
I thought what I said was correct.
And I said,
Then I said,
I want to serve you even life after life.
Then I said, I wanted to serve you even life after life.
And then he didn't respond. He accepted that.
Then he accepted that.
So, if Prabhupada come back
So if Prabhupada come back
to preach,
then
I'll also come back.
Then I will also come back.
But sometimes if you have disciples and they don't go back,
Sometimes if you have a disciple and if they don't go back,
then the guru may come back to help that disciple.
then the guru may have to come back to help the disciple.
So that's why all of you should very faithfully follow the instructions of Bhakticharu Swami.
That's why you all have to faithfully follow the instruction of Bhakticharu Swami.
Not to make him come back.
Not to make him to come back.
If he wants to come back, that's another thing, but you should not be the cause.
You should not be the cause. If he wants to come back, that's okay, but you should not be the cause of him coming back. Someone is saying, thank you Maharaj for such beautiful explanation. It gives us a solace, and I hope GBC can address the healthcare issues of all devotees for the future. Next person. We'll take one final question. Dandavat Pranams Maharaj. What will happen to us who were supposed to get initiated 2 weeks back? This, I think we have answered this question. Gurudev will be forever our Gurudev after taking shelter and so many instructions. We love, respect and wish to serve all GBCs. But will we be considered Gurudev's disciple as we are sheltered? Please forgive me.
Taking shelter
Well, taking shelter
is still a preliminary process.
It's still a preliminary process.
And there's no karma.
There's no karma.
after one takes initiation,
After once taking initiation,
then the guru is responsible
then the guru is responsible
for the activities of the devotee.
for the activities of the devotees.
So who you take initiation from,
So who you take initiation from,
he's the person who has to take karma.
he's the person who has to take the karma.
That's my humble understanding.
That's my humble understanding.
But naturally, the relationship you have
But naturally, the relationship that you have
with Bhakti Swami,
with Bhakti Charu Swami,
that will remain.
that will remain.
He has helped you.
He had helped you.
And maybe as the Chakadan Diloje, Janne Prabhu say,
Chakudan Diloje Janme Janme Prabhu say,
that he give you the spiritual enlightenment,
if he is giving you the spiritual enlightenment,
then somehow you'll remain with his help.
somehow you will remain with his help.
And we have to take that if he sends you to someone else,
We have to take that if he sends you to someone else,
and that's also his mercy.
that's also his mercy.
And one has to continue on the spiritual process.
Then one has to continue on the spiritual process. Someone is saying, thank you very much, Maharaj, for your kind words. Please bless us that we can follow Maharaj's instruction under guidance of great spiritual uncles like you. Someone is asking, Hare Krishna, what happens to Guru Maharaj's soul after death? Does it go immediately to Goloka or does it wait for Samadhi?
It doesn't wait for somebody.
It doesn't wait for Samadhi.
It goes, whether he goes to Prabhupada or goes to Goloka,
The soul goes to Prabhupada or goes to Goloka Vrindavan. Next question. Maharaj, this is the last question we take for tonight. Maharaj, there is so much emotion of grief and sadness in the heart. Is that okay? Should we try to overcome by some means? ISKCON Richmond.
in the fourth canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam,
In the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam,
there's the pastime of Puranjana.
there is the pastime of Puranjana.
And then he took birth, next birth as a queen,
He took his next birth as queen,
and then her king died,
and her king died.
so she was crying.
So she was crying.
So in the purport, Prabhupada said,
So in the purport, Prabhupada says,
this is how a disciple should feel when the Guru passes.
this is how a disciple should feel when the Guru passes.
So I think that's a very natural emotion,
I think it is a very natural emotion
that one feels separation from the spiritual master.
for one to feel the separation from the spiritual master.
And when I heard that Prabhupada had left,
When I heard Prabhupada had left,
I saw him in the morning.
I saw him in the morning.
He was alive.
He was alive.
I went on the train to Calcutta
Then I went on train to Calcutta
because he gave me the assignment
because he gave me the assignment
to build his Bhajan Kutir on the lake.
to build his Bhajan Kutir on the lake.
But when I reached Calcutta,
But when I reached Calcutta,
I saw a paper
I saw the newspaper.
that said that Founder Acharya, his son, had left.
It said that founder Acharya of ISKCON had left.
So then I started crying,
Then I started crying.
and I flew back to Vrindavan,
Then I flew back to Vrindavan,
to Delhi, and then drove to Vrindavan.
to Delhi, then drove to Vrindavan.
But by that time, he was already in Samadhi.
But by that time, he was already in the Samadhi.
Anyway, now at 9:15, you can see his final rites.
Anyway, now at 9:15, you can see the final rites.
And after this, I think they'll put it in some box,
I think after this, they will put him in some box.
and that will not be open even in India.
I mean, we heard that that will not even be open even in India.
I don't want to interfere with your ability to say that.
So I don't want to interfere in your ability to see that.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Your Bhakti to Swami was very dear to us.
Bhakti Charu Swami is very dear to us.
Certainly all of you are very dear.
Certainly all of you are very dear.
Any help we can give, anything,
Any help that we can give,
all leaders of ISKCON are willing to help you.
all the leaders of ISKCON are willing to help you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.